Okay, now we're going to be talking about how to take a regular photo and make it look like it was taken as a Polaroid. So there are a few steps for that, and I'll show you how to do this right now. So here we are, we just have a regular photo that we want to make into a Polaroid. And the first step is to actually make this a square image, because as you know, Polaroids are square, the image itself. So what I want to do is make the rectangular marquee tool here. And with the Shift key down, I'm going to click and drag, until I'm selecting the height of the image. So essentially it's just on a 1-to-1 ratio, so it makes a square. And now I'm just going to position this so that it's roughly here to the image the part of the image that I want. So I will select this part here and go to Image and Crop. So there we are. I'll deselect this, and the first step is just having a square image. Now what we want to do is go over here to the Layers palette, and I'm going to double click where it says background. I'm going to double click on this and just click OK. And what this does is it removes it from being a background layer. So I'll just undo this for now. And as you can see, a background layer here is locked. And if I double click on this, it will unlock that layer. And the reason for this is for the next step. We're going to go to Image and Canvas Size. And we're going to increase the canvas size. At the moment it's at 530. I just want something bigger because I need to have more space to create the Polaroid. So I'll just add this to, for example, just 800, just arbitrarily, just something that's more than the image that I have. And here we are. The reason we did the double clicking on the layer is so that the layer now is it's independent of this increased canvas size. Otherwise, if you had done this without doing this, you would have seen that you would have added white to the canvas and you would have had white stuck around the image. So we just want a floating image, and that's what this checker pattern is showing us, is it's transparent. So that's the first good step. Now what we want to do is add some white to this. So we're going to add another layer, clicking on the new layer button here. Drag this down so that we have that layer below the image. And I'm going to use a shortcut Control Backspace to fill in white, because white is my background color here. And so I have the image on a white sheet of paper. So that's good. So visually we've gone off to a good starting point. Now what we need to do is actually make that selection for the Polaroid. So what you want to do is just with the cursor here, just pay attention that what you want to do is be roughly at an equal distance from the top and to the left. So there we are. Okay, that's pretty good. And just envision really just a Polaroid. That's basically how Polaroid looks. It's just longer at the bottom. So there we are. That's our selection. I'll create a new layer and drag this below the image, so it is in between the two layers here. And I'm again going to fill this with white, because obviously a Polaroid is roughly white. So I'm going to go Control and Backspace and deselect. And now you see that it didn't make much of a difference, but on this layer we have it here. If I unselect the background layer, there we are, we have our Polaroid essentially. And now what we want to do is add an effect to it. We're going to add a layer style to this. I'll just go ahead and turn on the background layer here just for a second, so that you can see the effects that we're applying and how we're going to make this pop. So what we want to do here is just create a drop shadow first of all. And the drop shadow, I want it to go the other direction. I want the drop to go from that direction here. So I'll just select the angle to something like 130 degrees. There we are. And what I also want to do is increase the size of it. Now we're limited here for space, but I'll just increase the size. And as you can see, with the size originally, it's just at the drop, but the part of the drop shadow. But if I increase the size, you see that it starts bleeding in slightly and making it seem like this is the Polaroid off a sheet of paper. So we want a little bit of this to actually show the dimensions of the Polaroid. I'll actually decrease this just slightly. And there we are. And now what we also want to do is just create a gradient overlay. So over here, just click on the gradient overlay, select it, and as you can see, the overlay, what it's doing right now is just adding white to black. And all I want to do is just to give a slight hint of an uneven lighting. So I want to have it from white to a very light gray here, so that it just seems like there's a bit of a shadow being cast on, on the Polaroid itself. So I'll change the opacity to something very, very low. So it'll probably be in the 3% mark and so forth. So there we are. It's just a very slight differentiation here. And I want to put this slightly at an angle. So roughly at this angle here, that's pretty good. Okay. Now that we're done with this, we've added our drop shadow and our gradient overlay at just the 3%. I'll click OK. And now what we're going to do is perhaps just let's add a caption here to the Polaroid. How about that? So we're just going to, with the type tool, I'm just going to click here and type in, and I'm going to change my selection to the move tool and just press Control and T for the free transform tool, and holding down the shift, I'm just going to make this text to the size that I need it to be. So I'm just adjusting it here, and I think that's a pretty good size, so I'll just press enter, and there we are. We have a caption, and now the only thing that we are left to do here, and I'll just increase here so we can see the layers that we have going on. I will select all of the parts of this image. So we have the image itself, we have I'm going down with a shift here, we have the text, and we also have the white part here of the Polaroid with the effects. So we have all three of them selected. Now I'll just go Control and T for free transform again. And now we're just going to add a slight angle to this. So just outside of the image here, just rotate it. Press enter. And there we are. We have a Polaroid.